Right then, hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for yet another episode of our Race Driver Grid career mode walkthrough. This classic of a game has been dug out from the depths of my living room once again for episode number 11, I do believe, of this series. Obviously last time we were taking on some sort of middle license stuff. We're working our way up through the rankings, through the licensing with our new British teammates as well, taking part in some GT1 events I think last time. As you can see, those Celines, those lovely Celines in the background. Today we're going to do another two events, because at this point in the career mode we're now having to do 3 races per event. Which means it's still 6 races per episode, but it's taking slightly longer to get through each season because of it. And then obviously I think how it'll work is then next episode we'll have the Le Mans 24 hours. Usually when I make plans like this they go down the drain anyway, so don't be too surprised if that changes. But what I'm thinking is going to happen is we'll do 2 events today, then we'll do the Le Mans 24 hours next episode along with another event to start next season. Got it? Right, let's go. Okay, so we need 26,000 sort of XP or ranking points to move up into the next license in Europe, and we can do that by winning literally one more event in Europe. So we'll try and get on with that this episode, and then we'll work on getting into the final licenses in America, as you can see here, and in Japan over here. But the first thing we're going to do is a Japanese race, because we haven't done one yet in this licensing. So we are going to go ahead and we'll do this Falcon Tyre Pro Tuned event as well, because they're quite a decent sponsor to have. And for this Pro Tuned event, we are going to use the Nissan Skyline. Khaleesi from Game of Thrones is the person we're watching out for. Second on the grid, apparently, in the Toyota Supra. Our teammate, Matthew Craven, is actually starting on pole, and we're starting 3rd. So we've been given quite the head start in comparison to what we usually get for this 5-lap race. Around whatever track we're at, which I just don't know the layout of, so I'm going to have to be looking at the minimap constantly. Khaleesi's taken the lead. We've gone past Matthew Craven, and we've now gone past the Toyota Supra that we were meant to be watching out for. Quite like this track, actually. Quite tight and twisty. It's not massively flowing, but it's alright. I quite like it. We've got a bit of a train forming, but we're starting to get back on the groove of Race Driver Grid 1 physics. And driving physics, which have never really made any sense to anyone, in all honesty. But there we go. We've started to extend a bit of a lead now. Kush Khaleesi. It's not even Khaleesi, is it? It's Kelsey. We're going to call him Khaleesi, whatever the circumstance now. I've made the joke. It's too late. I can't go back now. I've already made the Game of Thrones joke. Got quite a decent lead now at the moment over 2nd place as we hit the wall at that corner for the 2nd time in a row. But yeah, we've got a solid 2.5 second-ish lead over 2nd place, so it's looking pretty rosy now. We've got back into the swing of things really when it comes to driving on this game, which is quite nice. Matthew Craven's having a wonderful ding-dong battle with whoever sort of goes at him at the moment. Whoever it is, it doesn't really matter, he'll just bang him out at the moment. Although he is down to 4th, behind Aikawa at the moment, so hopefully he can get that 3rd place back, because I think there's quite a drastic difference and prize money when you finish in 4th in comparison to 3rd, Matthew. So, cross the line. We come to finish 1st in this first race of today's episode. Decent start to proceedings then with a win. Where did Matthew Craven come? He did come 4th in the end. Respectable performance though, because realistically this is not his discipline, really, his speciality. Sponsor objectives, we're going to pass them all, realistically, because we won the race personally, so that's a whopping 102k in the bank there, so that's all wonderful and nice. Unfortunately for Matthew Craven, he's failed all but 3 of them, so he still gets a pretty decent tally of 23.5k, but I feel as if that would have been at least doubled if he'd have come 3rd, which is quite the shame. Right, race number 2. I don't know if this is the final race of the championship or whether it's the penultimate one, because I didn't look at the schedule and the calendar before we started. However, we are starting 6th on the grid for this one. Our teammate is starting at the back, which is not a good sign. Good start, though, for us, seemingly. We're going to go around the outside here of this Honda NSX. That's Shiro Aikawa. And up into 5th place without contact as well. It was quite a clean manoeuvre in the end. I was quite shocked myself, to be fair. 2 Nissan 350Zs, 1 Honda and 1 Toyota Supra. A very diverse field. As an NSX tries to go back up the inside. That was a nice switchback move, but it became dirty because there was another car on the outside. But I rated that myself. up into 3rd place. Our teammate Craven looks as if he's moved up a position as well from 8th place to 7th, which is quite nice. We've got a spin there. Oh, just about avoiding it. As a Nissan 350Z gets it wrong. Across the line to start lap number 3. We're ever closer to Yamaguchi, but not in front of him. Experiencing all sorts of dirty air behind him, though, unfortunately. Said no one ever, apart from F1 drivers. As we are now right on the back of Yamaguchi, we get a much better exit out of the final corner, and we're going to go through. Simples round the outside through turn 1, almost hitting the wall. We have really just sort of sat down and focused for this final lap. Holy mother of baloney. Have you seen the gap that we've got? We've literally built that in half a lap. Jesus Christ. Absolutely flying on this final lap of the race, showing the pace that we really did have in this Nissan Skyline. We, though, are going to come across the line yet again to win for a 2nd time out of 2 in this event. Don't know if it was the final event of the championship. I'm guessing not. Unfortunately for us, Matthew Craven actually in the end came last. I could have sworn I saw him in 5th place, but that clearly was not the case. Championship-wise, we are currently sat 6 points ahead of Aikawa at the top of the table, with Craven currently in 7th. That is how the Drivers' Championship is looking, and we are still just about top of the team standings, but only by 2 points. And there's only 20 points covering all 4 of the teams in the championship, so it's definitely still all to play for every single team in terms of actually winning the championship. We definitely need Matthew Craven, though, to step up, because we're doing all we can do. But unfortunately for us, he is not quite performing as well. He gets 8.5k from Holly for finishing the race, but that is I don't even know. That's not, it's low consolation is what I was trying to say. I don't know, is skank consolation a phrase? Having got 102k in the last race, we are underway for the 3rd and final, hopefully, race of this Japanese event, as Matthew Craven's currently carving his way through the order. Started 6th, now up to 4th. We started 7th, and we are now in 6th, so 1 position gained. So we go around Stephen Sang. We've just gone past the man who sat 2nd in the championship, Shiro Aikawa. Massive crash, though. For a Nissan 350Z, that was Jin Kudo, who just literally flung himself at the wall and just carried on like nothing happened. Just pirouetted. We've hit the wall as well on the outside, so that's not ideal. And I've just realised this race is 8 laps long. Flipping Nora. Why does it need to be 8 laps long? Matthew Craven's got out of shape. He's going to have to get out of our way. So we're going to just fling it up the inside of him, because he's left the gap. So we go past him. Hopefully Craven can A, do a job for himself, and B, do a job for us, because he's got our nearest championship rival directly behind us. So if we could just hold up Aikawa just for a little bit, that should help us massively. We, meanwhile, have got to set ourselves the target of the 2 cars in front of us, which is Khaleesi, our old friend from the start of this event, and that man there, Yuichi Imamura, who spun himself round, and we don't have to bother about him anymore. We nevertheless are trying to catch Khaleesi in the lead, which we've just about avoided that hedge, sort of. Need to get a concentration game on, though, if we're going to catch Khaleesi here. The mother of dragons. It's not going to be an easy job to pass him/her, depending on how far you want to take the joke. Matthew Craven is again battling for 3rd. If he could just flipping hold on to it, that would be brilliant, as Khaleesi gets it all out of shape through that section. We've now caught up to the back of the Toyota Supra drastically, with about 2 laps to go as we come across the line now. Craven's down to 4th. He's holding up a massive train behind him, so it is literally me versus Khaleesi for the lead, and thus the win. We have thought about a move up the inside. It was a late lunge. It was a late decision, but we're going to hold on around the outside through the right, then got the inside through the left, but I think we might get undercut. Nope. We hold on to the position. Khaleesi is unable to do the switch back, and we have held on to the lead as we go on to the final lap of the race. Round the final corner then, and across the line we come to win the 3rd and hopefully final event of this championship, and hence to win the championship outright if that statement is correct. Confirmation that we won and got 20 points, and Matthew Craven came 4th and got 14. There you can see then we win the championship by a full 14 points, getting maximum points in the championship, but our combined efforts meant that we won the team's championship there, 94 points as a total from Apexi race team. And here you can see the sponsor objectives for that final race. We're going to get the full 102k once again for winning the race. and Matthew Craven is going to get the exact same amount that he got in the first race of this event, which is 23.5k. In terms of XP, we're going to get 46,000 to put into the Japanese pool. In terms of prize money overall, we win £664,000 for that event alone. Not too shabby, Alonso. And new sponsors wise, we've got Rock Oil, Powerflex, and the sponsors of that event overall, Falcon Tyres. We will come back eventually and do this open wheel Formula 3 championship, because I don't think we've done all that much open wheel stuff at all in this series so far. And I gather, being avid F1 fans, that maybe you guys would want me to do that at some point. For now though, we're going to do the Endurance Le Mans Series GT1 category event. To be honest, we're going to get a Lamborghini. To be honest, we just might as well. We just literally might as... You just literally might as well. You absolutely might as well. We're going to get a Lamborghini Murcielago, because why the hell not? Race number 1 of this championship. And we are in Turkey. Stefan Ortelli in Team Orica Saleen, which is a very, very damn nice looking car, is the man we should be watching out for. But look at our Lamborghini. Oh, damn. I'm rating it. We've actually got LMP2 cars like directly in front of us. Do you think we can race them? Because I remember last time we did a Le Mans like actual event, like a certified Le Mans event, we actually beat cars that were a class above us. I don't know if that's possible with the LMP2 cars, I won't lie to you. We've got Matthew Craven as well, running pretty damn well in 3rd place as well. If he'd stay there, again, like I've been saying for the majority of this episode so far, that'd be pretty decent, as Kovac goes a little bit too deep into the 3rd to last corner. We've got a good exit through the right. I'm going to go around the outside through the left as well. That was easier than I was expecting it to be, I guess, is one way of describing it. And across the line to start lap number 2. Onto the final lap then. Craven is still sat in 3rd by what I can see. In class, obviously, that's 10th overall. For those that are new to Le Mans type racing, obviously you have 4 different classes. I'm in the 3rd slowest, the 3rd quickest class. So obviously the quickest class is LMP1, then the 2nd quickest is LMP2, then the 3rd fastest is GT1, which is the class that we are in. Matthew Craven is currently 3rd in the class, and we have just messed that corner up an absolute treat. And oh my sweet mother of bejesus, look at the flipping momentum that this lot have got. Oh my word. Right, okay. We're suddenly in issues where we shouldn't have been in them. We've gone too deep into the hairpin as well. We're going to hold the inside line through the right, and then hold the inside line through the left. And hopefully, I swear to God, Matthew Craven, if you don't take 3rd in class. He's going to drag an Aston Martin to the line. We, though, are going to win the class still overall in that race. Obviously, not the event overall, but in that race, we've won the class. Peter Kovac was 2nd, and I think Matthew Craven just about held on to 3rd. In terms of sponsor payout, we've won again as we get a massive frame freeze there. So we get 102k as per normal. Matthew Craven, though, for coming 3rd, gets a pretty whopping total as well, 73k. See, that's the difference. In those 2 events at the start of the episode, he came 4th, and he only got 23.5k. When you come 3rd, you get 73k. Massive difference. Time for race number 2, and we are at Spa-Francorchamps. What a lovely track to be at. Pedro Amaral is the man we should be watching out for. We're starting 10th overall, which means we're starting 3rd in class, I do believe. We've got Matthew Craven to our left-hand side. He's got a much better start than us. We've got Marino Franchitti behind us. Is that... Oh, hello. And he's just hit us into our own teammate, which is just not ideal. Marino, you absolute... just... block of cheese. I was going to ask whether Marino Franchitti was sort of related to, like, all the other Franchittis. I'm guessing he is. We are currently sat 4th in class at the moment, so we've lost 1 position from the start. And that was to Marino Franchitti. Kovac going defensive against us, so we can't go down the inside. I was very much thinking about a switchback move, but it couldn't happen. Through no name. Matthew Craven still holding on in front of Stefan Ortelli in the Saleen. In fact, they've even got GT2 cars off the back of them, so... But all is fine. Oh, well, we spun there, though. And we've been hit by our teammate. And it is basically just day over. I don't really know what on earth just happened, but we got on that curb, and it just spun us round. We got on the curb, and lost rear traction. I don't royally know how that works, but it happened. So we're going to have to just suck it up and see. We're coming through Blanchimont now. I can already see the GT2 lot again, so that's something, but that's a shame actually, because we've inadvertently affected our teammate as well, because he then hit us. Stefan Ortelli gave us a proper crunch when he hit us, so he's right in the depths of the GT2 class now after that accident. We've got Philip Rolzardo in front of us. I think he's got a bit of damage from the accident as well, so we're going to try and get past him. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus Christ, mate. Why are you braking there, fam? Why are you braking there, fam? I don't quite understand. Oh, it's only a 2-lap race as well. We're literally going to get the opportunity to pass the GT2 cars, and then that's it, literally. I'm going to go through the middle of the 2 Porsches here. I'm liking that move. I'm quite late on the brakes until I come, but we just about survive. I could do without one of the Porsches then trying to take us out afterwards. Right, if we can pass Stefan Ortelli now down into here, that'd be nice. Right, okay, so that's 1 GT1 car pass, so we're not last in our class anymore. We are now, I think, 5th in class. Oh, there's been a spin there, though. It's an Aston Martin through No Name. Looked like Kovac, I think, in the Aston Martin, so not ideal for him. We've gone wide through Puan. I think our next target, and our only target now, for the rest of this race, is Matthew Craven. However, I don't think we're really catching him by enough, in all honesty. Or catching him at all, really, for that matter. Although he seems quite slow through the first part of Blanchimont. We might have to have a real lunge down into the bus stop. We'll see how late we can brake. Maybe we can get him on exits. We can't quite. Or can we to the line? We've got much better traction out of the corner. Can we get him to the line? No, we can't. We're going to finish 4th in class then. Pedro Amaral won the class in that race from Marino Franchitti in the other Lamborghini. Then it was Craven, then ourselves, then Stefan Ortelli, Camathias Rolzardo, Christensen, all GT2 cars, and then Peter Kovac, who we saw, he spun off down at No Name. We are still leading our class, but we are joint level, or joint leading, with Pedro Amaral. After that 1st and then 4th, he got a 4th and then a 1st. Matthew Craven's currently sat 3rd in class and only 1 point off the lead. So he could quite easily win the entire event at this rate. In terms of sponsor objectives, it's us this time that are disappointing. The sponsors, 23.5k for ourselves, but it's another solid 73k for Matthew Craven. So pretty decent from him. Well done, lad. Right then, time for the final event of this championship and of this episode, and we're at Donington Park, which in recent times doesn't have great memories for us, although we're starting 1st on the grid in terms of our class, so we should have a fairly simple job in reality, holding on to that, although Matthew Craven already has got the jump on us, and as I said, Matthew Craven could actually win this championship as he tries to get around the outside of us, and flip it, what a move! Marino Franchitti goes around the outside of both of us through Redgate, then tries to get the inside of me through the crane of curbs. We're going to get up the inside of him though through the old hairpin. Now Matthew Craven's coming back at him as we go up towards McLean's. Bloody hell, that was some sick racing between all the Lamborghinis there. Well played, everyone. But yeah, as I said, we haven't had great memories around this track in more recent times. When we did the reverse of this track last time, was it Prestige Cars, I think it was? We actually had a dismal race. We actually spun off, had an incident. And I think we came 6th in the race overall. But at the moment we're doing a pretty good job, leading our class at the moment, and we can even still very much see the LMP2 cars. Up the road we've got a massive gap at the moment back to Matthew Craven. I tell you what, if he could come 2nd, I know it's his speciality, so in technical terms we should expect this type of thing from him, but I'd be very impressed, with a 1-2 for ourselves. That would be really good. In fact, that would probably be one of the first 1-2s that we've had since the famous Aiji Matsuke debut, where he came 2nd behind us in a Demolition Derby race, I think it was. He then proceeded, of course, to go on and win races in pro-tuned events, which is something that Matthew Craven hasn't done. He hasn't won a race, I don't think, yet. Whereas Matsuke, I think, managed that twice, which is odd, actually, because Matthew Craven is a professional driver, whereas Matsuke was only a rookie. We're on the final lap, though. Meantime, we've not really been challenged at all since Marino Franchitti thought about trying to get around the outside of 2 cars in 1 corner, which was admirable, I have to say. What a move that would have been. Well, it basically was. It's not only a 1-2 in this race, but it's a 1-2 in the championship as well, and it's a win in the Teams Championship, as I had a bit of a frame drop there, but nevertheless, round the final corner, we're coming across the line to win the race and the championship with it. The GT1 class is ours in Le Mans, and that means that we have secured our place in the next license. The next European license is ours, so we can now move on to even more prestigious events. There you can see confirmation with 15 points. We win the GT1 class because all the other cars ahead of us were either LMP1 or LMP2, and Matthew Craven takes 9th and thus second in class. And in terms of XP, we're about to see an explosion because we got 46k. That is enough to see us hit the 250k threshold, which means we've earned our Euro A license with almost 20k XP to spare. Not too shabby at all. And there you can see, we're on our way now to this sort of global race license. I didn't even know that was a thing on the game. And in terms of prize money, we've got a whopping amount, 859k. Not quite enough to repay the amount that we paid for the Lamborghini. In terms of sponsors, we've got Erlins, who do suspension, we've got Lunati, and we've got K and N.
We're really moving up in the world. But if we want to compete internationally, we've got to think big. We've already upgraded our garage to a world-class facility. So now it's up to you to perform on the track. No pressure.
So that's what the global race license is. It's a whole nother tier on top of what we've already done. Oh my word. Okay, alright, well that is just gonna be utter insanity. I didn't even know that existed. Well, that's gonna be sick. Next time we'll be opening up with a Le Mans 24 Hours though, which I think will be the end of Season 5. So we'll mark the start of Season 6 as well next episode, so that should be pretty damn sick. If you've enjoyed this episode though of Race Driver Grid, feel free to hit the likes button, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. If you are psyched for that new race license where we are going to be getting like down and dirty with some amazing races, then let me know in the comment section because I'm hyped for that as well. But nevertheless, it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.